obviously there's a lot of buzz happening to something that is preeminently important from a historical context. Time will come and go. This month will pass, there's an election, the election will pass, the year after that will pass. Time doesn't stop. But what is about to happen on January 22nd is something that hasn't happened in 500 years. Hopefully, the permanency of what takes place, and the reason I say permanency is civilizational permanency. You know, something like Varanasi has been around for 5,000-6,000 years as a city. So, once in a millennia kind of event is about to take place. And this has an immediate bearing, and I'm going to come and discuss the immediate bearing of the sheer scale of the change. And let me put that into perspective. In the year 2020, about 6.5 million people came. Now, I know 6.5 million people is a large number. Put that into context. About 6.5 million people a year visit the Vatican. Okay? During the month of Ramadan, about 3 to 4 million people visit Makkah. Okay? So, in 2020, at the time of the Ayodhya verdict sort of now just being figured out, there were about 6 million annual visitors to Ayodhya as per the State Department's tourism statistics. In 2021, that hit 15.7 million. Okay? Near 3 times. Now, the prediction is that over the next year or two, that could be 5 times more. Some are saying 10 times more. I'm going to take a conservative figure. You're going to be looking at 70 to 75 million people in the next 1 year, 2024, visiting Ayodhya. If each of these additional people just spend 10,000-20,000 rupees per person to live there, to shop there, to eat there, 1.2 lakh crores a year is going to come into the economy of Ayodhya. I'm not even talking about the donatives and others to the temple complex and the construction work that's going to happen for the new hotels that need to be built, the new airport that's going to have to redeveloped further, the train station will have to be upgraded further. We are talking about something rapidly phenomenal that is about to take place. So let's just set this up. On the broadcast with me, I can see Rahul Ishwar and Sumit Peer. Gentlemen, I'm just coming to you. Nikita and Manohar, my colleagues, are on the ground. Nikita, let's kick this off with you on the ground. Where are you right now? Because of course, we're waiting for the Prime Minister to come tomorrow. I'm told the railway station is ready. The Amrit Kal Express has arrived. The airport is also ready. All good to go.
Rishabh, Ayodhya is all set for the inauguration for 22nd Jan 2024, and meanwhile all set to be welcomed by tomorrow for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Before, I would like to add something more. We have some saints with us. Would like to add their statements also. आप अयोध्या से ही हैं?
जी जी।
अयोध्या को आपने बदलते देखा है, एक लंबे समय से अयोध्या बदल रही है। क्या लगता है कल जिस तरीके से इनॉग्रेशन होने वाला है और उसके बाद रामलला प्राण प्रतिष्ठान समारोह होने वाला है, क्या कुछ कहना है इसका?
जी देखिए, सबसे बड़ी सौभाग्य की बात तो ये है, हम लोगों के लिए गौरव की बात कि जो राम कभी टाट में हुआ करते थे वो कल ठाठ में होने वाले हैं। टाट वाले राम ठाठ में होंगे, इससे ज़्यादा खुशी की बात नहीं। और जिस प्रकार से त्रेतायुग कालखंड में भगवान पुष्पक विमान के द्वारा वन काल की यात्रा को पूरा करके अयोध्या उतरे थे, उसी प्रकार से हमारे अयोध्या के लिए दिव्य सौगात हमारे देश के यशस्वी लोकप्रिय प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में कल भव्य दिव्य एयरपोर्ट का उद्घाटन, उसके बाद भव्य रेलवे स्टेशन का उद्घाटन, और ये बीड़ा चौराहा आप देख रहे हैं। चारों तरफ अयोध्या में एक अलग ही माहौल, एक अलग ही उत्साह देखने का अवसर मिल रहा है हम सबको।
आप लोगों ने अयोध्या को देखा है, गौर से देखा है, आंदोलन के वक्त की अयोध्या और अभी के वक्त की अयोध्या। उन हाथों में लाशों का लेकर जो एक डर था, और अब वही हाथ प्राउड फील कर रहे होंगे, खुश होंगे कि जिस तरीके से एक बदलाव, जिसकी आबो हवा भी अब जय श्री राम के नारे लगाती है।
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो समस्त दर्शकों को अयोध्या से जय जय श्री सीताराम। मैं हनुमानगढ़ी से शाश्वत दास, अयोध्या से। अब कोई कल्पना बची नहीं है, साधु समाज हो या हमारे सनातनी भाई बहन हैं, सब इतना उत्साहित हैं इस भव्य उद्घाटन को लेकर के। भगवान अपने महल में विराजमान होंगे 22 जनवरी को, उसको लेकर के इतना उत्साह है पूरे अयोध्या में नहीं अपितु पूरे भारत में। समस्त सनातनी भाई बहन हमारे बहुत उत्साहित हैं और ये बहुत गौरव का बात है। 500 वर्षों की तपस्या हम सभी की पूरी हुई है। हम लोग के दादा परदादा कल्पना करते रह गए, चले गए, और हम लोग का परम सौभाग्य है। इससे बड़ा खुशी की बात कोई नहीं हो सकती है। और अयोध्या इस समय आप तो देख ही रही हैं, इतना भव्य और दिव्य रूप से सजाया गया, दुल्हन बना दी गई है अयोध्या।
Kafil, just show the images. Rishabh, I would also like to add that voting to decide the idol of Lord Ram Lala will also be installed inside the sacrum of the Grand Temple next month. And for this, today meeting was held, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to visit Ayodhya tomorrow, and during which he will inaugurate various projects worth rupees 15,000 crores.
Well,
and
it's been lit up. The statues are up. It's looking exciting. Remember, tomorrow is not the inauguration of the temple. That's on the 22nd of January. But the upgraded railway station and the nearby airport, which is being renamed, are being inaugurated by the Prime Minister tomorrow. And for that, Manohar Kesari joining us. Manohar, I'm told we are all ready.
Yes.
या मनोहर, तो अब क्या हो रहा है, क्या तैयारी हो गई है, क्या क्या हो गया, बताइए ना।
देखिए, बिल्कुल ऋषभ जी, मैं बात करूं तो अभी मैं अयोध्या धाम रेलवे स्टेशन पर मौजूद हूं और यहां रेलवे मिनिस्टर अश्विनी वैष्णव लगातार मुआयना कर रहे हैं। इससे पहले यहां पर मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ आए थे। लेकिन सबसे पहले मैं अपने व्यूअर्स को बता दूं, ये रेलवे स्टेशन एयरपोर्ट के तर्ज पे बनाया गया है, 3 मंजिला का है। अगर आप देखेंगे, इसका जो कॉन्कोर्स का एरिया है, आगे ऊपर फूड प्लाजा है, नीचे भी फूड प्लाजा है, लेकिन पूरी तरह से ये फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड बनाया गया है। जो पैसेंजर का एरिया है उसको नीचे रखा गया है ताकि वो अपना टिकट बुकिंग करा सके। कोई भी पैसेंजर इन्फो सिस्टम की अगर ज़रूरत होती है तो वो यहाँ ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे आ सकता है। इसके अलावा मैं अगर आपको दिखाऊं तो ये आप देखिए, ये चारों साइड से जो गेट है वो शीशे से लॉक है। अमूमन हम देखते हैं रेलवे स्टेशन का गेट खुला हुआ रहता है, लेकिन जिस तरह से एयरपोर्ट पे हम देखते हैं कि वो लॉक रहता है, कोई भी पैसेंजर 1 बाय 1 जा सकता है, उसकी चेकिंग की जा सकती है, तो सिक्योरिटी का पूरा ख्याल रखा गया है। उसके अलावा अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये ग्राउंड फ्लोर है, ग्राउंड फ्लोर से ही आप एक्सकेलेटर के जरिए ऊपर जा सकते हैं। फर्स्ट फ्लोर जाएंगे, फर्स्ट फ्लोर में सारी सुविधाएं हैं, और सेकेंड फ्लोर जब जाएंगे, जिसको हम मिडिल फ्लोर भी कहते हैं, उसमें डोरमेट्री की व्यवस्था है, रिटायरिंग रूम है। उसके अलावा आप देखेंगे फीमेल के लिए व्यवस्था है, स्टेशन मास्टर या कर्मचारियों के लिए अलग से रूम बनाए गए हैं। तो इस तरह की यहाँ पर सुविधाएं हैं। अगर हम टिकट काउंटर की बात करें तो जैसे आगे जाएंगे तो राइट साइड में टिकट काउंटर है, ऊपर अभी रेलवे मिनिस्टर अश्विनी वैष्णव मौजूद हैं। उसके अलावा मैं फूड प्लाजा की बात करूं तो हम अपने कैमरा पर्सन को कहते हैं कि वो फूड प्लाजा का एरिया दिखाएं। यहाँ पर आपको यहाँ का जो लोकल फूड है वो भी मिलेगा, जो साउथ इंडियन है उसके लिए भी रहेगा। ये देखिए, ये थाली है, इस थाली में आप देखेंगे तो सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल है। और जैसे आप फूड प्लाजा के अंदर एंटर करेंगे तो भगवान राम का दर्शन होगा, उनके राम दरबार का दर्शन होगा, उसके बाद फूड का श्री गणेश करेंगे। ये एरिया पूरा फूड प्लाजा का है और ये अयोध्या धाम रेलवे स्टेशन है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी यहीं से 2 अमृत भारत नॉन एसी पुलपुश ट्रेन का उद्घाटन करेंगे, हरी झंडी दिखाएंगे और साथ ही साथ 6 वंदे भारत, यानी रामलला के प्राण प्रतिष्ठा से पहले ही प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी उन तमाम रेलवे मुसाफिरों के लिए व्यवस्था करना चाहते हैं, तमाम श्रद्धालुओं के लिए, ताकि वो यहाँ पर आएं और आराम से दर्शन कर सकें।
Okay, Manohar is looking good. I can tell you it's looking exactly like an airport. Is looking much better. I know it's much smaller, but looking much better. The New Delhi railway station is looking phenomenal. Great to see it. Hope to actually be there very soon. Manohar Kesari and Nikita joining us with a flavor from what the preparations on the ground are. Let me now open up this conversation with Rahul Ishwar and Sumit Peer. Rahul, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are about 25-30 million people visit Sabrimala every year. So we are not really understanding the scale of what is about to happen in Ayodhya. Even if the number is similar, it could be double, it could be triple. I mean, 40-50 million people at the Mahakumbh. We are talking about huge numbers of people. It's transformative to the city's economy. And all these, in fact, if you this train station will probably have to be upgraded very shortly because they'll need a bigger one.
Absolutely. Jai Shri Ram. I had the great privilege to visit Ayodhya some months ago, and the state government and the officers were magnanimous and kind enough to give us a widespread darshan of the temple that was on the construction point at that point of time. I believe this is a resurgence of India as on a civilization level. Of course, there is a cultural aspect, economical aspect, social aspect, community assertion aspect, civilization aspect. So it's a whole round development. And we should remember, long before Athens, long before the West, long before the Greeks and Romans, we had Ayodhya, we had Kashi, we had the great Indian civilization flourishing in many ways. And it's a great tribute to our ancient civilization. It's a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, who conceived of Ramarajya, a welfare state, a harmonious nation for all. So it's a huge matter of celebration. And Supreme Court gave us a very balanced verdict. Supreme Court balanced it out with giving other space to our community brothers, and we can have Sri Ram temple here. So it's a momentous occasion. It's not only a victory for India, it's a victory for Indian society, Indian judiciary, India's cultural ecosystem, India's media ecosystem. So it's a day of positivity, a day of celebration, and I hope this will give enough positive energy for Indians to plan their future beyond any spectrum, beyond left or right, beyond this or that. It's a day of unity, and Imam-e-Hind was called by Alame Muhammad Iqbal to Sri Ram, signifying that Ram is the spiritual leader of India. Sri Ram has been one of the most celebrated icons in Indonesia, the largest Muslim nation in the world. So Sri Ram is a legacy of India, Asia, and the world.
But I just want to touch base on the practicalities, because we have now 1 month, have been discussing for months and months, will be discussing for the next few weeks. Sumit, I just want to just get a scale of it. And the reason I'm putting the scale in perspective is, if we look at Sabrimala, where of course Rahul has been deeply involved with for a long period of time. Look at Vaishno Devi, look at the Mahakumbh, you look at Tirupati Balaji, you look at Shirdi, if you put this into context, I mean, the Vatican gets about 6 to 7 million people a year, all these places, Vaishno Devi, Shirdi, Sabrimala, I mean, Sabrimala is 5 times, 6 times that easy, Tirupati is a similar amount, 5-6 times. Ayodhya, what are we looking at? Are we being able to estimate even the numbers of people who are likely to come post 26th?
Rishabh ji, thank you very much for having me on your show. The first and the most important point is Ayodhya is going to be the most visited place, tourist place or religious place in the whole world. I'll tell you why. Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath, we did the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. 13 crore people, that is 130 million people have already visited it. The highest visited place in the world is Paris, 44 million people. So we have beaten Paris 3 times already in Kashi. Kashi is the most visited place in India, in the whole world. And once Shri Ayodhya Shri will be ready, my estimate is I'm talking of 200 million people. 20 crore log. You can take me in writing, I can ready to give you writing that 200 million people who are talking will visit a year. Because in Mahakal, with Kashi Vishwanath ji, if we can do 13 crores in a year, Ayodhya ji will be at least 20 crores. So that means 200 million people. It will be the most visited place in the world, let it be religious or tourism. Ayodhya is the third pole of geopolitics. That is what is Hindutva and what is Hinduism about. Like Muslims have Makkah, Christians have Vatican. Hindus will have Ayodhya, and that will put Hindu on the global stature.
Okay, so Sumit, just on a practical sense, I know that it's a spiritual thing, religious thing, cultural thing, but there is a very logistical thing that needs to be figured out here. It's a very practical thing. I mean, in Vaishno Devi, if you don't figure out the logistics, in Sabrimala, if you can't figure out the logistics, in Tirupati, if you can't, nobody can do darshan, it becomes chaotic, it becomes a difficult mess. So if you're looking, I mean, I don't think anybody is being able to estimate the numbers right now, but from an economic front, Sumit, imagine if, somebody goes and they spend 10, 20,000 rupees if they're there for 3-4 days in staying there and eating food and traveling and doing a bit of shopping. We are looking at 1, 2, 3 lakh crores per year coming into the city of Ayodhya for everyone who owns a shop there, who owns a plot of land there, who perhaps had a house which becomes an Airbnb or becomes a bread and breakfast or becomes a hotel. You're looking at a complete economic transformation that's about to happen.
Rishabh ji, let's take an example of Kashi Vishwanath ji. 13 crores, I'm taking a very minimalistic amount of 2,000 rupees. इससे कम तो हो ही नहीं सकता, 2,000 rupees. 13 crores into 2,000, 26,000 crores. 26,000 crores is $4 to $5 billion, broadly speaking. Now, if we look at 20 crore people, and I am talking of 2, 3, 4,000 rupees, we can do the multiplication. 40,000 crore. 40,000 crore is how much? I can't say how many.
It's about $5 billion.
Yeah, it's the quantum of money, $5 to $10 billion. We are talking about very minimalistic, money which is going to come. Then there will be associated investments. Then there will be roads, there will be buildings, there will be GST collected. There will be the offerings coming to the temple. And let's not forget, in Ayodhya, we have 108 lakes. We have 3 ring roads. We are building dharamshalas for thousands of people, 3-star hotels, 5-star hotels. It's a few thousand acres of development which is happening. And the people who were questioning, why did you spend 945 crores on Mahakal corridor, in Kashi Vishwanath, Mahadev corridor, why do you spend that? Now the return of investment came in 2 months. 2 months you got the money. You are making money. The economy is making the money. The quantum of money which is put in Ayodhya ji will be recovered in 3, 4, 5 months. Then Ayodhya is going to be an economic booster for the state of UP, and it is for Yogi Adityanath ji to see how to leverage the potential of Ayodhya, because there is a possibility of religious tourism of Akashi. Then,
now the thing is, the people are coming. Now the current advisories are 22nd, so remember it's not open. It opens only on the 26th. 22nd is the inauguration. So post 26th is when the temple opens. Okay. Now the advisory, of course, is going to be to come slowly, right? But Rahul, people are going to come. Now we have, in UP itself, we have the experience of organizing the Mahakumbh. So the logistical expertise does exist. Our yatras in the north are very complicated because they go over several kilometers. So there is logistical experience. You guys in Sabrimala, just managing the number of devotees who come, who want prasadam, who want to leave a donative, who want to visit, who want to take a selfie, want to take photographs, need a place to stay. It's going to have to happen very rapidly. What is the scale we are looking at, Rahul?
See, we need a world-class pilgrim management system. We need all the modern technologies, all the safety measures, because yes, Bhagavan will definitely take care of all this. But as humans, we also have a responsibility to give facilities, give security arrangements. There may be people who are lost. There may be things which are lost. So there are a lot of nitty-gritties of arrangement involved. That's the reason why we need scientific temple management on a big scale. Last time in Kashi itself, Pujaniya Sarsanchalak Mohan Bhagawatji inaugurated International Temple Conference, where I was also one of the speakers, where spiritual aspect is absolutely great. That's the core and soul of it. But temple management as a professional discipline, how do we manage temples, pilgrims, their basic necessities, their food, water, milk, the TVs which has to be installed, the programs which have to be given, the content, spiritual content to be generated. People will need some kind of a spiritual souvenirs they will take back to their home. All these basic things have to be managed in a very deep way. Every terrain will have its own peculiarities. For example, in Sabarimala, there is 18 holy steps, and we have a count of, in 1 minute, we have to cross around 100 and 110 people crosses that holy 18 steps. Then only the entire population can be managed over a period of 60 days. These are many calculations and measurements that has to be taken. That's the reason why we need experts in the temple committee along with people who are spiritualists. Or we will need experts, the technical experts, people who are digital savvy, people who are management experts. We need these kind of people who also have a devotion to Lord Sri Ram and a deep cultural consciousness. Then only we can make it a world-class city. And trust me, Ayodhya can become one of the, as Sumitji beautifully said, you can call it geopolitics, you can call it culture, you can call it soft power, whichever word we want to choose, we can choose. But Ayodhya can be a cultural superpower in the world which can rival the best cities in the world. All these cities are great. Holy Mecca is great. Holy Jerusalem is great. In ancient times, Greece was great. We respect all this. But our own Indian civilizational heritage, managing in a big way, can definitely bring millions and crores of people.
So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is that the reason I'm having this conversation is that building the temple, the exact spot which is the sanctum sanctorum, which was the entire point of the conversation for so many hundreds of years, the temple complex, which is just a few acres. This is only a small part of it. Okay, the entire area, the entire district, okay, is going to have to change very rapidly. There is going to be private enterprise involved in this, because there will be people who come in to build the hotels, there will be people who come in to build the shops, the rest houses, the eateries, okay. The people who will be building the emporiums where all these handicrafts will be sold, the souvenirs that you're going to take away will be procured. Sumit, so now, I mean, in a practical sense, you mentioned the economy of UP, just the handicrafts of the people who are going to build the Ram Murtis, which people will want to buy from here, other kinds of souvenirs, maybe copies of the Ramayana, consecrated items. You've seen so many sculptors who've been involved in building the temple. These people are going to find future employment in, selling sculptures of Lord Ram in the near future to millions of devotees.
Of course, Rishabh, because in fact, what if I remember, we did a program on NewsX. There with these dharamshalas, hotels, and all, there's also going to be amphitheater where there'll be live Ramayana. There are also going to be land given to the foreign embassies if they want to have a cultural center there. So even it will be a multicultural thing where a few thousand acres of development will be done. Souvenirs alone will be a few $100 million business, because, again, a souvenir, one book and here and is around 1,000 rupees. Imagine if you have 20 crore people coming and even half of them end up spending 1,000 rupees. Do the multiplication. How much is the souvenirs? It's again going to be in hundreds of millions. Anything in Sri Ayodhya Shri is hundreds of millions of dollars. And then we are not stopping people from the other faiths in coming. If a Muslim wants to come from anywhere in the world, most welcome. If a Christian wants to come, most welcome. It's not like Makkah, only Muslims are allowed. No other religion is allowed. So people from all over the world, the day it hits the Guinness Book of World Records as the most visited place in the whole world. And if you are a non-believer of Hinduism, you might believe in any other religion, you want to have a look and feel of what Sanatan Dharma is about, what Bhagwan Sri Ram is about, you will come to Ayodhya and spend 3-4 days there, because to see Ayodhya ji, you will need 3-4 days there. You can imagine the quantum of revenue it will generate, the quantum of ancillary industries it will generate. Even, for example, Rishabh ji, we are also going to have a ferry service there. Now, even to maintain those ferries, and if you look at the amount of people coming, how many MRO kind of setups do you need? How many taxi walas do you need? How many e-rickshaws do you need? How many chole kulchiya walas do you need? For example, how many golgappa walas do you need? I mean, somebody who's just making Ram Laddu and Pakoda, how many of them will you need? Some people will make fun, it's Pakoda-nomics. But when it comes to the quantum of money, we are talking billions here, and everybody is going to get benefited. The state will huge GST collections, the travel people will be happy, hotels will be happy, taxi wala will be happy, eateries will be happy, and the people who are giving connected flights are happy.
So, literally, ladies and gentlemen, I know there's a past history to it, but from Khandar to complete district changing, state changing, you can even argue country changing. Economy is all about activity, okay? And as soon as activity happens, now think about, big sites, the entire local populations thrive, they pay their rent, they pay for their houses, they pay for their kids' education through the sheer influx of tourists that come in. I'll leave the last quick word with Rahul Ishwar. Rahul, on that note, I know it's a spiritual thing, but it's also about lives and livelihoods. It's a very real thing for people have to live. Living cities, we talk about Kashi, is because people have been living there for 7,000 years. It's not just because, you can say pyramids have been around for 7,000 years, but they are just useless. No, they are just standing there. These are living cities. So lives and livelihoods, what is an example of how many people actually get kinds of occupations that get involved with temple towns?
I believe Sumitji brilliantly articulated it. It's a temple ecosystem. It's a spiritual, social, cultural ecosystem that we are talking about. The city where I'm talking from, Trivandrum, it's basically named after Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple, one of the greatest temples where $22 billion plus of ancient antiquities are there. Recently, court discovered. So this entire city developed with temple as the center. It's a spiritual center. People get solace. It's a cultural center. People come together. The art, festivities, all the songs, all the spiritual dances, all the Ram Katha, all the Krishna Katha, these will get elevated. Their artists, their livelihood, their families. Of course, the priest, the Veda Pathashalas, the Yagyas, all these things. Along with that, there are definitely people who are pilgrims, who are tourists, who are travelers. There are various classifications. They will come there. They will buy souvenirs. They will buy food. They will buy dress. dress, they will buy something for their aging mother, they will buy something for their uncle and father, all these things. So in effect, a city develops. And please remember, it is not only material development. There is a spiritual development, there is a material development, there is a cultural rejuvenation, and there is an
okay, so I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you with this thought for people watching the broadcast. Okay, now think about the person who had a small plot in which they were running a guest house or a 3-star hotel. Okay, as we speak, from the middle of January onwards, 3-star hotels in Ayodhya, 25,000 rupees a night. Luxury hotel rooms, 50,000 rupees a night already. We are still 1 month away. Okay. Now, yes, that's how economy work. Once the demand increases, then over the next few months, the supply will increase and there will be a rationalization of this.
The new airport in Ayodhya, named Maharshi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham, is all set to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 30th December 2023. Just look at the building behind me is the newly constructed airport, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow, that is on 30th, and ahead of also the consecration of Ramlala idol at the temple on January 2024. Now this airport, if we talk about this airport, it has been spread across 6,500 meter at the cost of rupees 350 crores, and this newly constructed airport will be able to serve 600 passenger per hour at peak hour and also million passenger per year according to the Airport Authority of India. Also, the airport has 2,200 meter long runway with the complete ground lights infrastructure and is supported by ILS, that is Instrumental Landing System, which allow the aerodrome to accommodate flight at night and during low visibility. Also, leading budget carrier Indigo will operate the inaugural flight from Ayodhya Airport, and its maiden flight from Delhi to Ayodhya is expected to land on December 30. Indigo will start commercial operation for the direct route between Delhi and Ayodhya on Jan 6, 2024, followed by tri-weekly flights connecting Ahmedabad and Ayodhya starting on Jan 11, 24. Meanwhile, also, if we talk about the services from Ayodhya International Airport, it will be the airline 45th destination and 3rd operational sector in Uttar Pradesh. This is the whole scenario, and we can see the live footage, the live photos of airport and how beautifully it is designed. And in a statement, the company is also saying that the launch underlined its commitment to enhance connectivity from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities across India, and it anticipates growth in Ayodhya, attracting pilgrims and travelers from near and far. And now let's have a look towards the main gate of the airport with beautifully decorated pillars and also the Bhagwa color painted on its rooftop, and beautifully designed plants across the pillars. There are tricolors that has been wrapped, and all this full airport is singing the song of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because after landing tomorrow, that is on 30th of December, after landing, Prime Minister Narendra Modi from here will start the road show, and also he'll lead the addressing, he'll address the public here, and the crowd expected to reach here is approx 2 lakhs. So all the arrangement is set for the inaugural ceremony of International Ayodhya Airport, which has been named as Maharshi Valmiki International Airport Ayodhya Dham, which is said to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on December 30, that is tomorrow. So Ayodhya is lightened and is fully to light up. It is all full to decked to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and people all across Ayodhya are also eagerly waiting to welcome our Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow. With video journalist Kafil, this is Nikita Sareen signing off for NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.